Hello traders, Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com, Sunday the 24th of November 2024. Last week the S&P 500 and the Qs regained their volatility triggers and remain mildly positive gamma, with both rendering a bullish bias to start the week. IWM performed the best, up more than 4.5%. While the New York Stock Exchange, 2,000 stocks on the composite, rose to new all-time highs. That said, we did see some mild rotation Thursday and Friday out of some of the big cap tech names into value names and specifically the banks and small caps, ending the week with 15 bullish indicators, 2 neutral and 3 bearish. So long as the S&P 500 stays above 5920, we should see a grind higher into this week. There you go. The New York FANG Index showed some rotation as some of the big cap tech names were being sold last week, Thursday and Friday, after NVIDIA earnings. So we need to pay attention to these names if you're trading any of them. And with those 10 stocks, we'd also like to see the Qs performing a little bit better. Neutral to bullish to start the week. With the S&P 500 performing a bit better with a bullish bias to start Monday trading. With evidence suggesting institutions were rotating into small caps and financials. Small caps outperforming last week, bouncing and gaining more than 4.5%, with financials leading, specifically the banks, emphasized by KBE and KRE, all of the banks, both large cap and regionals. KBE and KRE both showing significant progress, bouncing off the 9 EMA, volume increasing on Thursday and Friday as that rotation became more obvious, which of course also showed up in breadth indicators, the S&P 500, followed by the mid caps, small caps, and NASDAQ in descending order, all turned higher. They're not overbought yet, so we could see a follow through this week if we can remain above the volatility trigger at 5920 for the S&P 500 and around the 504 level for the Qs. Overall, the indices are giving us a bullish bias going into Monday trading. The US dollar has been very strong of late, closing at 107.51. The US dollar continues to rally after the latest manufacturing PMIs out of Europe and Asia shows cracks in the global economy, with investors flocking to the dollar, where U.S. indices went into a bear market, something that we need to keep an eye on, leaving yields to move sideways to slightly lower. The bonds responded by moving sideways as well, with a 20-year Treasury bond sideways under the 200-day moving average for the last several weeks. At the same time, we saw strength in the U.S. dollar. We also saw strength in gold last week. That said, we do have oil and gas moving sideways along its 50-day moving average, 200-day overhead. So this looks good for the holiday travelers if we can manage to continue this trend into year end. All 9 small cap sectors were strong, so look for a follow through in IWM this week. And with the S&P 500 trading above 5,900, we'll look for these sectors to continue higher. Biotechs showed a strong performance from Tuesday on. Materials, financials, industrials, all of these sectors showing strength, with a very obvious pop in retail on Thursday into Friday. As we start the week with 15 bullish indicators, 2 neutral and 3 bearish, we do have a lot more stocks from the IBD 50 and from scans showing up on the watch list, with a heavy emphasis on the scans from the banks, both large cap and small cap. Some of the semiconductors like AMSC, American Superconductor, nice relative strength on Thursday, Friday, looking for a follow-through. Bollinger Bands coming together, RSI above 50, look for continuation. Argan, an immunology company, trending higher last week, RSI rising. With significant earnings growth and revenue growth, this immunology company could see a follow-through this week if strength persists and volume continues. MACD and stochastics have been turning with price action nearing 52-week highs to end the week. Blue Owl, a global asset manager, shows price at 52-week highs. Bollinger Bands are beginning to open up. RSI is rising. MACD and stochastics are bullish. Volume shows institutions were picking up shares last week as financials continue to lead in the rotation. With software outperforming last week, it's no surprise to see Commvault, a global provider of data solutions, software tools, and information management systems, the company with good earnings growth of 46.7% and revenue growth of 16.1%, looking for Commvault to continue this trend higher, with RSI rising, stochastics turning upward. We just need to see a little bit more volume, and for MACD to turn up as a function of price, with Commvault potentially testing 52-week highs this week. Corcept Therapeutics trending bullish in the oncology business, with the stock showing bullish price action, RSI rising. Just need to see a little bit more volume, stochastics turning up along with MACD. The company is engaged in discovery, development, and commercialization of drugs for the treatment of severe metabolic, psychiatric, and oncological disorders, with the company showing significant earnings growth and revenue growth, reporting 41 cents versus 27% expected, with the next report at the end of January 2025. Clearwater Analytics trending, another IBD 50 stock that is trending higher, volume looking bullish. MACD and stochastics are turned higher. The company is a global industry leader, SaaS solutions, automated investment data aggregation, and so on. Reporting 5 cents versus a 3 cents estimate. And with software outperforming, we're emphasizing some of these names that are in this business to continue outperforming into year end. Duolingo Solutions, that continues to trend higher. Bollinger Bands are opening up. Look for a follow-through, RSI rising along with MACD and stochastics. Volume picking up last week, starting on Tuesday. With the company reporting again in February, it beat last time around. 716% earnings growth, that's superior. With its leading mobile learning platform for 40 languages, with 40 million monthly active users, with the stock continuing to break out to 52-week highs. GeneDx also showing some consolidation over the last several weeks. Bollinger Bands coming together. Watch for this one to follow through. Healthcare and pharmaceutical related names, with the potential for a break higher this week. Hims and Hers continues to show some strength with its GLP-1 injector competitor to the big pharma. May show some follow through this week. Watch the volume. Stochastics, MACD turning up along with RSI. HubSpot making new all-time highs. Following through, volume picking up on Thursday and Friday. MACD, stochastics both rising, along with RSI showing muscle. Hut Mining, Coinbase, all of the Bitcoin-related names may have some weakness. I'm watching Bitcoin moving lower as I'm recording this video on Sunday, at 11:03 a.m. So keep an eye on these Bitcoin-related names and specifically MicroStrategy this week. You may want to take some profits off and look for some shorts on something like MicroStrategy, with MicroStrategy showing some profit taking on Thursday. Left to be seen if we follow through this week and move lower, or if we bounce and follow the 9 EMA higher into Monday, Tuesday trading. Lemonade showing up again with strength last week. However, it's also showing the highest risk premium or expensive options compared to MicroStrategy. Those two have 100% IV rank, which is pretty high. While strength persists, volume increasing, MACD following through, and RSI showing muscle. So with expensive options, consider selling premium in the short term. Netflix trading at highs. If you're trading this particular name, feels a bit extended to me. Looking for a pullback to the 9 EMA this week for a better entry. Sellers on Thursday and Friday at the high of the day, so keep an eye on Netflix. This one could fade a bit more. Still very bullish, along with Nvidia reporting earnings, moving sideways. There is some indications from portfolio managers that they're exiting some of these high-flying names like Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, and Meta. So we'll watch for any indication of weakness to start the week on Monday and Tuesday, while Bollinger Bands suggests that prices should stay above the 50-day and below the recent highs of 152. On Holdings, a European company purveyor of quality shoes and apparel, following through last week, breaking out on Thursday and Friday. Palantir looking very strong, looking for a follow-through this week. Rhythm Pharmaceuticals showing some potential. RSI above 50. Price action consolidating along the 60 level for the past 4 trading days. Robinhood, another financial, not quite as extended as Interactive Brokers, but it does look good. Looking for a follow-through. 9 EMA, 21, 50-day, and 200-day are all up and to the right, looking very bullish. Price bounced off the 9 EMA on Friday. Rocket Lab, I'm looking for some consolidation. It's a bit extended. Most of the estimates from Tier 1 and Tier 2 analysts are right around the 20 level, so this is a bit extended with RSI showing muscle. Keep an eye on these names, Lunar and RKLB. They may appear on the watch list again this week. Root Insurance continues the trend higher. Financials saw rotation last week out of tech into those value names, materials, energy, financials, industrials, consumer staples, and utilities, outperforming, making new 52-week highs. Watch for more rotation this week out of tech into value. If that continues, we could see weakness in some of these big cap tech names, so just keep that in mind. Okay, traders, that's going to do it for me. This is Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com with your weekend video newsletter. It is Sunday, the 24th of November. I'll send out a watch list later tonight around 12 midnight on the East Coast, around 9 o'clock on the West Coast. Those will be stocks that have the most probability of following through this week. As we look for breadth to continue the improvement we saw last week, we're not overbought, but we do need to get back above 59.20 and stay above that level and attack the 59.75 and 6,000 levels this week, barring any escalation in the geopolitical dynamics that we've seen over the last week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, take care, and we'll see you in the morning. Ciao.